common instructions on a problem like this might just be to simplify, and then you're supposed to, the student is supposed to kind of magically know that that means the radicand is going to be a perfect square. Here I'm being a little more explicit with the instructions. I'm telling you that this square root expression is a member of the natural numbers. And for it to work out, it eventually has to resolve to some object squared. Okay, now this is the definition of the absolute value of a, but since we're dealing with positive numbers, the square root of a squared is of course just a. And again, folks, I've seen these instructions very commonly written as just simplify this. And that's kind of like code between a lot of teachers and students, that it works out to a nice rational number or an integer. Okay, so let's see where we can go with this. Now, so here's the problem recopied. Now what you'll notice that I rewrote this piece right here as a perfect square, and that's kind of a good start. You know that this part is a perfect square, a perfect rational square, namely 11/2 squared is 121/4. So at least we have a square sitting right here. Okay. Now at this point the problem might be a little difficult, but notice that 1922 is the mean of the numbers 1933 and 1911. That is, it's the average. Okay, and so we can recognize this, and this takes a little time, but you can, making that observation, you see that this is actually the difference of two squares. Okay, 1922 plus 11 is at 1933, and 1922 minus 11 is 1911, right? And so literally this is all just equality going on right here. And that's very good news, because this numerator portion is the difference of two squares. Okay, it's the difference of two squares. And so all of a sudden we're getting to a position where it looks like we might have a square object by the time all the smoke clears. Now, notice that what this simplifies to is the square root of 1922 squared uh, 1922, let me erase that. Okay, so 1922 squared right here, okay, over 4. Okay, this is all supposed to be in the radicand. Now this would be minus 11 squared over 4 plus this 11 squared over 4. Also, this is the same as 11 squared over 4 right here. See, folks, and this worked out for us because these two terms right here cancel. All right, and so you're left with the square roots of 1922 squared over 4. And y'all, what is that? That's the same thing as 1922 over 2. But even I can divide that. 1922 divided by 2 is equal to 961. No calculator required. 2 times 961 is 1922. And there's our answer, folks. So this was sort of some obfuscation here in the sense that a lot of us, if we first look at this, you can't imagine how this could end up being anything simple, but the fact that you're given that the expression does resolve to a natural number means that there is some sort of algebraic, unless it's the problem composer has made a mistake, there's some kind of algebraic manipulation where you can write it as the square root of some other object squared, and that object's positive, so that's just going to be equal to the object. In this case, we call the object A. Okay, so anyway, here's the steps. Hope you liked it. And yes, the answer is 1961.